Hello YouTube. This video is going to be about Mesa Prime against level cap enemies in Void Cascade. The reason I'm doing this video is because of the beautiful skin she just got. And mainly because this is my first time trying her out because I kept doubting her. But turned out she is very, very capable and I really like the way she plays. And I also had too many layers of survivability on her, which made the process of playing her very fun because you're focusing on surviving and also dealing as much damage as possible. She's not as easy as like some of the meta frames, but again, she's very fun and I love trying fun setups. But yeah, as you see in the footage, she's very much capable. I think if you're like really good with her, you could solo Cascade with her. But again, this is my first time trying her. I need to get like some more reps on her to try that out. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get to the build and enough of the VOD showcase from stream. So yeah, for Mesa Prime, I went for the mostly basic stuff everyone uses, but I focused on surviving and quality of life through ability duration, a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, as for the Archon shards, Top Force to pass Archon shard for the crit chance, max of 375% crit chance. Get like 50 enemies with heat damage. And for my helmet, I went for Nourish for the energy multiplier and also the damage increase through Viral, because we don't have any elements other than heat on our regulators. As for the Mesa build itself, I used for level cap. I went for many layers of survivability. One of them is Catalyzing Shield and Brief Respite combo for Shield Gate. Since Mesa has very low base shields, Primary Direction wouldn't be a good option alongside Arcane Aegis. So I went for the quicker shield gating option with Peacemaker. If you cast Peacemaker, you already fall on shields with the setup. Or also you could use Nourish, but it's kind of slower on cast. So yeah, it's up to you. Just shield gate. And there's also other layers. It's not the only layer of survivability. Some QL here is Rolling Guard. If you're moving with Mesa's walls augment, her fourth ability augment, you're kind of slow, and Jade like Maximus can tag you before you roll. So if it tags you and you have heat proc on you, you can roll just to move the heat proc entirely and not worry about dying. And yeah, another quality of life I have is focusing on duration a lot, because Shatter Shield and Shooting Gallery takes so much time. Not so much time, but like they're not recastable basically. So you cannot worry about them if you're low on duration. So I stack these two duration mods to not worry about them as much and to make them last long. Same for Nourish and for the energy drained from Peacemaker. Another alternative you could make is Archon Vitality, which is honestly I forgot to do when I did the level cap build. But I also noticed that I have like 40 to 50 heat procs when I try to kill an enemy. They either die from my actual damage from Peacemaker, or there's one big heat proc that's gonna kill them anyways. So it didn't matter for me using Archon Vitality, but if you want to use it for more damage, be my guest, you will just sacrifice some duration. Doesn't really matter. But for me, I prefer the duration more. Energy Sustain, as I said, Nourish, Prime Flow, Equilibrium, because there's a lot, and I mean a lot of Maximus units and Cascade level cap. So yeah, this will come in handy. You'll always be topped up on energy. And if there's a rare case where you don't find any drops on the ground, I have another solution for you. But yeah, that's it for the mod setup. For my arcanes, hotshot for the huge increase of crit chance, up to like 300% crit chance, and also arcane velocity for the fire rate, because it's one of our main modifiers we're gonna focus on to deal damage with Peacemaker against high level targets. As for general steel path, this build is kind of not efficient. So if I'm going for general steel path, I'm gonna change my stuff a bit so I can focus on one-shotting rather than relying on DOT and surviving and all that stuff. Also, forgot to mention, strength increases as in blind rage and precision intensify. The reason for that is I want to increase the Peacemaker damage multiplier base. You don't need Hornet Strike basically, because these affect Peacemaker as like a normal damage mod. So yeah, that's why I went for Precision Intensify and not Umbra Intensify. Plus we have enough strength for Nourish to function properly through Blind Rage, so yeah. Anyway, another change I'll make is Transient Fortitude and Prime Sure Footed, because I'm gonna change the arcane on my regulators. You're gonna see more of that later. But yeah, this is the general Steve Path setup if you wanna try it. Works really well. One-shot most things. Can destroy acolytes even faster because you care more about damage than survive. And your main layer of survivability is dead enemies on general Steve Path. And now yeah, that's it for the all things Mesa Prime. For the weapons, I went for quality of life more than anything. No weapon can deal damage out of these three. Aphentis Prime, Furex Wraith for the fire increase through Maga Furex body count, and Aphentis unique ability. When you throw it on the ground, you get 40% fire rate. Also Maga Observation for more sprint speed, more QOL. The extreme rare case where there's no Eximus in Cascade, if you encounter that and there's enemies in front of you, just grow more of them. You get like 22 energy regen per second, something like that. It's actually crazy. And yeah, for the regulator, it has the main layer of survivability, which is Overguard through secondary fortifier. It deletes all Overguard units, like their Overguard, it gets shredded very fast. And not just that, you get also 15k Overguard for yourself to survive with. Yeah, they will get one-shotted through like lots of enemies shooting at you. These will get one-shotted very, very easily. But also, you'll get them back as easily when you encounter high-level Eximus units, and they will be everywhere. Not just Eximus units, also Thrax units, and that Kuva guy who throws an arrow at you. All of these have Overguard, so you build Overguard really fast. Again, if you don't find any of these, just normal enemies, Shield Gate, or Rolling Guard. And if you fail to do all that, there's another layer of survivability I'm going to talk about. But yeah, let's focus on the Regulator build. This is a meme mod, just don't care about it. As for our damage, we went for fire rate, even more fire rate and multi-shot, more crit chance, crit damage, and heat damage. The reason I removed Hornet Strike, or adding that much strength on Peacemaker, so I could remove Hornet Strike for Pistol Elementalist, and make our heat DOT, like the 40 or 50 stacks of heat, do like mega ton of damage if the enemy don't die. And they're also amplified by the viral procs coming from viral affecting Peacemaker and give it viral damage. Galvanized Shot, Condition Overload effect, stylish chance to proc heat damage, like the heat status effect. And yeah. As for the general Steel Path setup though, you don't rely on DOT that much, so you won't need Elementalist, and you're gonna change the build to something like this, where you have Corrosive Heat to trigger the Arcanes, and like the Archon shards, and also Cascadia Flare, because we went for as much base damage. As I said, you wanna one-shot people on Steel Path. You don't wanna like worry about surviving all that stuff. So yeah, Cascadia Flare for general Steel Path, Corrosive and Heat, and yeah, that's it for the general Steel Path setup for regulators. But yeah, this is the one I ran for the Cascade. Anyway, we go for all the layers of survivability of Mesa. I'm just gonna run them down real quick. First of all, Fortify Overguard. Secondly, Shield Gate. If you have a DOT on, you use Rolling Guard. If all of this fails, somehow you have your Panzer with Martyr Symbiosis. It will die for you once every few seconds, I think. Until it revives, I think. Yeah, every 30 seconds, something like that. It will die for you. And yeah, that's also another layer of surviving. You also have your Operator to do that. Back to the Panzer, because I forgot to explain it. You have Tenacious Bond, crit damage, Reinforced Bond, fire rate, calculated redirection to trigger Reinforced Bond, and Resourceful Retriever, very, very, very important for your Steel Essence gains in Cascade, which makes the reason why I use pets over companions like Sentinels and stuff in Cascade. I would never use a Sentinel in Cascade because of this spot single-handedly. This will help with Viral Coils to drop health orbs, just in case you I mean, you'll be killing people very quickly. This wouldn't trigger a lot, but in case it triggers, you have a chance to drop health orbs, which is more energy for you to survive. And this is to make her revive faster. Very, very important mod for obvious reasons. Collecting loot. And yeah, that's it for the bet. Claws, only bite. You don't need anything of these. Just bite for the crit chance to trigger Tenacious Bond. And Madurai, it has first of all, the strength increase, of course, from the dashing, and the casting speed would be useful for Peacemaker and the Rish. But also, for the Tower Strike, we're gonna use this like twice per run, something like that, just for this Arcane to trigger. And also, if you have focus lens on everything you have on the build, you will trigger this very often. But I forgot to put on like Mesa and Apprentice, I think, but I still had focus lens on everything else. Anyways, back to the point. Heat damage for maximum of 250% for the duration of the mission. This is so much heat damage. That's better than prime heated charge even. So yeah, you kind of need that. As for the operator itself, to deal with the Thrax units, I had mostly amp damage mobs here. And this for the Talon Strike Energy Charge. But you only care about these more. And for my amp, I went for 543. These are like the names of the 3 letters of each part name. Yeah. For the arcanes, Magus Melt for heat damage for the amp, not your pistols. Magus Cloud to deal with the bubbles and the cascade, like destroy the void rifts. You dash and you like destroy 3 or 4 with one dash. You could even completely remove all the rifts with one dash, depending on which area the actualizer spawned in. For the amp arcanes, though, I see a lot of people using Onslaught, Eternal Onslaught, which gives you a lot of crit chance. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but there's very tiny scenarios where I deplete all my energy on Operator. So yeah, I went for Eternal Logistics instead to have infinite ammo on my amp in case I die and I want to revive myself to not make my teammates rush and revive me. I went for infinite ammo on my amp. Eternal Eradicate for more base damage for the amp itself. And yeah, that's it for the Operator. Didn't plan to explain that, but here we go. We did it. So yeah, as I said before, Talon Strike, focus lens on everything, including your arc gun, and you must have the launcher on your gear wheel. Also, K-Drive, and you must have the launcher for that on your gear wheel. So you can get the Talon Strike charge faster. You can get even faster than what I did by equipping a focus lens here on these two. But yeah, that's not the point. The point is, use Talon Strike, stack it to 250%, enjoy your damage. And yeah, that's it for the Mesa Prime build for both base steel path and level cap. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. I'll be streaming today. Once this video goes live on YouTube, there's a high chance you find me streaming. If you're a bit late and I'm offline, then join the Discord if you want to ask or suggest changes I should do for this build, and I'm gonna put them in the pinned comment. But yeah, other than that, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.